We are in Tuscany. We flew into Rome from Marseille, and then we rented a car and drove 2.5 hours to San Quiric, which is this beautiful little Tuscan B&B. As soon as we got there, we were greeted by a beautiful dog named India, who was our guiding light for the rest of the trip.
Let's drink and eat and drink a little bit more. Hello.
Is there a puppy?
Yes, there is.
After settling into the hotel, we headed to San Quirico D'Orcia, which is the closest little town from where we were staying. Neither of us had ever been here before, so it was a really unique experience to walk around and explore, and we landed at the Antica Trattoria Toscana al Vecchio Forno, which is part of the Capitano Hotel collection. It was a little cold, so both of us felt like really nice pasta. Tyler went with like a bolognese. We love when they give you cheese on the table. This wine was so good. I haven't had it since, but we took a photo, so we remember to have it again. Dinner was so good. I would recommend to anyone who visits the Tuscany area to make a specific stop here because the whole atmosphere was so cool. Tyler was bold and took the digi vlog camera all around the restaurant, which is something I'd be too embarrassed to do, but bravo to him. He walked around like a proper tourist, videoing every corner of this place. The bathroom had really nice detail. There's a ton of like framed photos and signed like autographed things, which was super cute. We had a packed itinerary, as you can imagine, for this day, and I believe the next day. We had 2 wineries that the hotel organized for us to visit. The first one is Poderi le Ripi, near Montalcino, which is a very nice region. And look, this is the first dog sighting. Actually, the second dog sighting, because we saw India at the hotel. We also had a private tour of this vineyard, which was so much fun. It's beautiful. Poderi le Ripi is a biodynamic winery in Montalcino. They have a ton of information on their website about their history. Started in 1998. This used to just be a farm with sheep on it. And now it's a productive vineyard with many different varietals of delicious wine. This is actually the first winery I've been to in Europe that has skin contact or orange wine, which was so fun to taste. You can see by the shock on my face that I was so impressed by the cellar. They farm on 35 hectares with 32 dedicated to Sangiovese alone, so that is a lot of Sangiovese. After the tour of the vineyards and the cellar, we got to the tasting room and we had so much fun. They gave us snacks with the wine, which is necessary when you're tasting more than like 1 or 2 wines. It'll go to your head fast. So they produce honey on the farm as well, which was an interesting, like bitter kind of honey. It was good for wine pairing and cheese because it wasn't super sweet. The olive oil was so delicious. I think we probably drank a quarter of a bottle of olive oil, and with our tour, we were able to taste 5 different wines. I believe 3 of them were Sangiovese or Brunello di Montalcino, which is the wine of the area. They were really, really good. So good that we decided to buy a few bottles. I think we bought the last one, and then we also bought their Reserva, which Tyler and I aren't like big fancy wine people. We like love all kinds of wine, especially table wine. But it was so good, we just had to bring home a souvenir. after our tour, we had a bit of time to kill before our next tasting, so we headed to Pienza, the little town, the village, to have lunch. Popped into whatever looked busy and authentic, and we were not disappointed. I'll put the location in the description. Our next stop was Podere Boscarelli. Oh, look at that Italian accent.
The process for the photosynthesis chlorophylliana for the development in maturation.
Our tour guide was so charming and knowledgeable that we forgot to film more there, and we had a whole tasting and snacks and the whole gambit, and we just didn't film anymore, but it was really nice. Tyler actually preferred this one to Podere le Ripi. They were both great in my opinion, and we bought wine there too. After our big day of tasting, we headed to San Quirico D'Orcia, our little village where we were staying, and we went to a very cute pizza spot, delicious pizzas, and just enjoyed the square. It was so nice. Oh, this day, the sun finally came out. We went to our cooking class, which was, I think, my favorite part of our entire trip.
Oh, they have asparagus, eh?
Huh?
Asparagus.
The artichoke.
I mean, artichoke.
I was like, wait, am I wrong?
You never seen asparagus that big before?
There are lots of cooking classes to choose from, but we recommend Montalcino, which is where we went. The farm was lovely. The proprietor was the most enigmatic, lovely human on planet Earth. He made us want to consider leaving it all behind to have a Tuscan farm. And look, there were dogs. I mean, what more could you want?
Hey, yo. Hey?
We got super lucky. There was only 2 other people in the class with us, so it was really intimate, and they served us espresso when we arrived, and the proprietor, Alessandro, couldn't have been more friendly and hospitable.
There's another one, Achillea. This is also something that we didn't plant it. It's just growing by itself. Now we cut the grass, but if you check around, you will find also the small one, the monks.
Perfect. So we can start breaking the eggs in a dough for pasta. Is much easier than the one for pizza or bread or whatever. Much easier. You cannot overwork the dough, and this is just already something simple. And what happened?
I'm getting shells out.
You don't worry if you leave some, because after, when we're gonna make a very thin foil, you will see the shells straight away, and we can easily remove, so it's not a problem. So now I will break my eggs, like if I want to do a scrambled eggs. And slowly, you can see I start taking flour from the inside part.
This class is about a 4-hour experience, so you get to walk the grounds. Alessandro shows you the farm where they grow some of the produce, and then when you get into the kitchen, you have your station set up. So we first made dough for our pasta. We also got served delicious Tuscan wine, which was so nice to accompany the cooking process, because cooking needs wine, right?
And I probably you already understand that Tuscany is a very important meat region. I don't know if you already tasted some meat since you're here.
Yeah, yesterday actually.
Which one?
We're the restaurant at the winery that we went to. I had a lovely.
Do you remember which kind of meat you have?
It was beef.
Okay.
Since I've been here, I've had 3 different meat meals. I've had ossobuco, and I've had lamb curry, and also lamb.
Okay.
So I've had.
That's good. You have to know that Tuscany is really meat.
It wasn't there.
I think my favorite part of the class was learning how to make tiramisu. So tiramisu is one of mine and Tyler's favorite desserts, definitely an over everything. We've had it many a places, many a different varieties, and I honestly think I made one of my favorite ones that I've ever eaten. It was so good. I think it does have to do with the lady fingers being super fresh, the espresso being super fresh, and that delicious cream being, again, super fresh. I also think being in Tuscany and making it by hand does not hurt.
And she said, today I will prepare something different for the family. And she created something that became very popular. And I will explain to you how to do it. If you like to sit, you have stools under the table, please
Using my leg.
use them, of course, absolutely. That's why you have one. And so we start with the water though.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's what we made it for this. You already eat a peachy before? In Tuscany, peach is like a thick spaghetti.
Yeah,
and
oh,
yes,
made.
yeah. Oh.
And it's always made with the water dough, long and made. And this usually something like that, but today I will show you something different because peachy, there is nothing to explain. This is done, you know. I will show you something else. Siediti, Tommy? Siediti che vedi, papà. I cut it in small pieces now. You can see that it's definitely more rectangular than before. Now,
I don't know.
questa? Aspetta, dopo amore, adesso non posso usarla prima che le insegno.
This was definitely the most humbling part of the class, making different types of pasta. So the knitting needle pasta was really hard. You saw my little wonky version that I just showed to the camera a couple seconds ago. Tyler's doing the nice, easy one where you just chop little chiclets. But yeah, you can see me struggling with the knitting needle. So the thing that's in Tyler's hand, I don't remember what they were calling it in the class, but from Google, it looks like it's called a gnocchi board or a garganelli, which is really fun, but it doesn't ring a bell. So maybe it's called something else. If you know, let me know.
Anche uno per uno, mi raccomando, apri bene e poi li metto qui. Would you like me to show you again, Paul?
Oh my gosh, the raviolis were so good. This is actually something I think is pretty easy to do at home if you have the little pasta maker flattener thing that he's got over there in the corner. On his left hand, he's touching it now. So the spinach in filling was really easy to make, and then you really just kind of like pat it in and tuck it in, and then you use the little cute pasta cutter and you make little pillows. And this is Tyler's. Okay. And then that is mine. Look how beautiful that is. I found another hidden talent. Look at this. Amazing. Incredible. Now, truly the best part of the class, you get to eat the fruit of your labors. In our case, it is multiple types of pasta. I don't even know how we walked away after all of this. Look at that serving. And that wasn't all we ate. There was a lot more. This was such an amazing experience. Highly recommend. I'm putting the cooking class in the description. We got a cute little photo at the end. It was seriously 10 out of 10. Could not recommend more. What a great way to spend the afternoon. We got so lucky with the weather. And this is another dog. After the cooking class, we headed back to the hotel. I'm setting up a self-timer film camera shot, and I'll pop the picture in here. It came out so cute. We loved sitting on this little balcony, this terrace. It was so gorgeous, just being in the Tuscan hills. Oh, look at that. The temperature dropped quite a bit in the evening, so you can see we're kind of bundled up tonight. A lot of wind as well. There's a really stunning sunset that we caught before we headed into the little village for dinner. Look at that. Oh my goodness. But you can also see the wind is whipping here. We were surprised when we walked into town because there was this big food festival happening. They were barbecuing, there was, grill smoke everywhere, lots of big lines, people looking at us funny for filming. I think it was burgers they were serving, so we were kind of like, I don't really want to have a burger when I'm in Tuscany, so we bypassed partaking, but we got to walk around and see all the families and locals just kind of milling about, which was cool. We opted for some delicious little bruschettas with fresh tomato that looks like pistachio and ham. Oh, delicious. We walked around town and there was a music festival happening as well. It was really cute to see everyone's dancing. I mean, it's definitely cold. You can see everyone's kind of bundled up and it's windy, but it was really fun. Started off day 4 with a little walk around our hotel. Neither Tyler nor I remember doing this walk, which is strange, but we've got it on camera, so we did it. This is a nice view of the hotel. Ice Quiric. So beautiful, so relaxing. Probably one of the most chilled parts of our trip for sure. We were there for the longest time. In true Tyler and Courtney fashion, we rented a Vespa and we scooted around Tuscany. We did not get the best of weather for this day, so we were cold and it was rainy, but we made do and we had a great day anyways. Do you see what I see? A cute little doggy in the balcony, and you can also see the rain pelting down. This is a great spot. This is Montepulciano in the rain. There were so many cute little shops. We ended up walking around probably for about an hour. We sat down in the square and rested our feet and had a little beer. Tyler actually was eating a tray of olives and he accidentally swallowed a pip, and here's a picture of it because he was very scared he was going to die. We had to Google and everything was fine. Nothing happened. We decided to be true tourists and go to the Ercolani Cellars, which is also known as the Underground City Museum. It's cool to see everything, but I think it would be really packed if you were there in high season, so I don't know if I would recommend going unless you were there on a low season day or it was rainy like how we had it, so it was a little bit less crowded. After that, we hopped right back on our trusty steed and headed towards Pienza.
Are you gonna drive it like that?
Don't sound that.
Alright.
We were so happy when we finally got there and the sun came out and we could defrost. Our fingers were chilled to the bone. Tyler had to buy gloves in order just to make it through the day, so. We only made it to Pienza around like 2 or 3 p.m. so a lot of the restaurants were closed. So we had a quick lunch down by where we parked the scooter. It was enjoyable, but there were lots of loud tourists, which, you know, are the worst kind. We decided to take a little cruise around the village before returning to Vespa, and you can really see how quaint and beautiful this area is. I wish I could tell you what was happening here. I think maybe I thought it looked cool with just my glasses behind the visor, but as you can see, it did not look cool, and I realized that towards the end. Another lucky happenstance is the townsfolk were practicing for the Festa della Barbarossa, and we got to watch them try out their routine, and it drew a huge crowd, and it was so interesting to see. There were also some very cute spectators. Look at these goldies. We also met a very little puppy, which you can kind of see in the background. I'm going to pop a picture up of him so you can see a better look.
Isn't that crazy, eh? So that thing's perfect for bread.
One of our favorite pastimes is having bread, wine, cheese, olive oil, and with a great view. So that's exactly what we did here. The lovely hotel staff cut us a beautiful charcuterie board with some cheese, and we just sat and enjoyed the calm and reflected on the day. Our friend India found out that we were eating without her, so she decided to pay us a visit to see if we would like to share. And we did. She stopped. India. We spent our last night in town sitting at the aperitivo bar that we could never find a table at, and we just watched the people. It's one of our favorite pastimes, is just sitting somewhere lovely and enjoying the view. On our last morning, we woke up to a huge fog rolling in, which is so crazy to see. And then we hopped in the rental car and headed back to Roma to fly to our next destination. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment and subscribe.